Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, June 15th. And because things got shifted around this week for me to be able to still do my Bible study with John, and doing that yesterday, instead, movie day got moved to today. So now we're at movie day. And as I have a nice normal length evening, I'm going to hop back to Harry Potter. I'm a little over halfway through at this point. Got to keep going. Moving on to the Half-Blood Prince, Year 6. I think I'm still going to like the movie, but my immediate recollection as I think about this movie is that this is a movie that felt like so much of the book was cut from it. They still, I think, told a good story, and I guess I'll find out for sure. It's been years since I've watched it, but I think they still told a good story. But I feel like they ended up cutting a lot. Still, it's been a bit since I've seen it. I'll settle in, check it out, and discuss Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince is only a moderate telling of the story in the book. But it is an excellent film in its own right. I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. Now again, that nor my other version do not have a synopsis of the story on the back of the box. They're back to just talking about the bonus features. So I have returned to Wikipedia to save the day for that. In Harry's 6th year at Hogwarts, Lord Voldemort and his Death Eaters are increasing their terror upon the wizarding and muggle worlds. Headmaster Albus Dumbledore persuades his old friend Horace Slughorn to return to Hogwarts as a professor, and there is a vacancy to fill. There is a more important reason, however, for Slughorn's return. While in a potions lesson, Harry takes possession of a strangely annotated school textbook inscribed as belonging to the Half-Blood Prince, Draco Malfoy struggles to carry out a mission presented to him by Voldemort. Meanwhile, Dumbledore and Harry secretly work together to discover the method on how to destroy the Dark Lord once and for all. In this movie, we're dealing with young adults. There's little bits of school. There's, we got that potions class that there's a scene for, and then there's the Quidditch. So yeah, there's definitely some things there, but not a whole lot. Not a whole lot in the way of school. Most of that got cut in trimming things up to make the movie. Again, not the best telling of the story from the books. Would have been much better as 2 films to tell the book story. But when they wrote this out, they decided they were going to tell the best story they could for this movie. And if doing it only one movie, they did a good job to at least tell a good story. And it was filmed so beautifully. It's a very dark movie in both theme and appearance. And there are so many shots. The whole story with Draco as this torn and beaten young adult who really feels in himself like he is still just a kid, but he has had the weight of an adult placed upon him, and it pains him so as he is afraid for his life and the life of his mother, that he must succeed at this terrible task he has been given. It weighs on him so heavily, and he's just good acting. But so little of that plot and that story of what's going on is spoken. At the very end, they say enough to make sure that if you weren't picking up on the clues, you know what happened. But so much of it is him just in silence and pain, or tears and frustration, as he is trying to fix this cabinet so that he could warp his dad's evil friends into the school. And highlights as he makes success and the apple went and came back, and then struggles as the bird died upon its return. And so it's like, okay, it'll warp it, but they'd die if they came through. And ooh. No, wonderful plotline through that. And then we get the romance plotlines, which I love. You know, Ron with Lavender Brown and getting Hermione jealous. Getting Hermione to the point where she admits to herself what she wants is what that did. That took her from her denying what she wanted out of her relationship with Ron to accepting what she wanted out of that relationship. And that took the whole kerfuffle with Lavender Brown. And, you know, I love watching that because I'm like, when I was whatever, that's like high school age, I'm like, I would have loved a girl like Lavender, where she is so clingy and obsessive and annoying. Oh, man. At 17, that's great. You know, age brings wisdom. But, so that's all fun. And then seeing things come together with Ginny and Harry, I love it so much. I love it so much. It makes me very happy. So I love that moment. And in that moment, just the music and the way that moment was presented, it's good. We also have the plotline of gaining the memories of Slughorn. The movie begins, you know, Dumbledore takes Harry so that, like, he uses Harry as a pawn to pull Slughorn in this way that clearly, like, it is just cementing for Harry the acceptance that Dumbledore says to do something. He doesn't say why, but you do it, and it works. And it is just really cementing that concept in Harry, which carries through to the end of the movie. But he needs Harry to get close and find a way to get Slughorn's memory. Because as it turns out, Tom Riddle, Voldemort, confided in Slughorn that there would be 7 Horcruxes, just as a, you know, concept, academic idea. But that is what tells Harry and Dumbledore how many they have to find. Because Dumbledore doesn't know. That is the thing Dumbledore is trying to figure out. Because Dumbledore has already found or either found a destroyed one that Harry had destroyed, or a destroyed one himself. There were 2, and he's like, how many of these are we after? And so, through attempts and the poisoning of Ron, and eventually utilizing liquid luck and doing everything wrong in ways that work out so right. Which I will say, one thing I miss from the book in that is that Harry, first of all, there's a lot less invisibility cloak in this than obviously the book. But like Harry going past Ginny, getting it where she breaks up with Dean because he just bumps into him while he's walking out. And that bit of, while he had the liquid luck, not only did he accomplish his mission and his goal, but he furthered his own personal goals that he wasn't even trying to do, but that mean so much to him. I love that in the book. That doesn't happen here. But, anyways, and we get the, you know, the acromantula, and it's like, you know, oh, people don't like the eyes, I reckon. And the pincers, best scene. Love it. Because he's just kind of this drunk attitude. It's great. Anyways, through that, in an emotional scene, he finally gets the memory, and then gets to travel with Dumbledore and do a mission with Dumbledore. He gets to go on a trip. Dumbledore tells him to do things that are hard to do because they're hurting Dumbledore. But Harry follows orders. Harry's good to do that. He trusts Dumbledore, and he follows his orders. They get it back. Of course, Snape kills Dumbledore in a much more meaningful and important scene than we know at this time. But Snape just reveals himself as the Half-Blood Prince. I feel like there was a little more detail and information about it in, because we go into Prince being his mother's maiden name and all that. So there's more detail if we get it from the book, but he at least says it, so we, because it's the plot. If it hadn't been the name of the movie, I feel like they would have cut the Half-Blood Prince plot out. And part of me wonders if Rowling knew that, and that's why she named the book what she did. We're gonna say this is the main plot because it's what gets this in the movie. And then Harry says, the locket that we did all that, it's a fake. Now, of course, it's a clue that will come up next time. But they did all that work and they got a fake locket. It's not the Horcrux. They still don't have what they need to destroy. But that's a plot for the next couple of movies. And he tells Hermione that, he's not coming back to school. School is his home. This school is where he has felt most at home. And he is standing up in that tower looking out over the grounds and like, this place really is beautiful. And I'm not coming back. I gotta finish this work. And then she laughs at him because he ain't gonna do nothing without him. They're coming with him. So really it just sets up for the next couple of films. And it's great. But it's young adults. It's young adults. It's not children anymore. They're not school children. So much of the school is cut out. This movie is shot beautifully. The lighting is wonderful. Yes, we do have the scene of the attack of the Burrow, which just plays with your emotions for no real reason, doesn't really advance anything. I guess it was there to shock people who knew the books and weren't expecting it. Whatever. But which also means that the fact that the Burrow, the safe place, is made less safe now, means that when it is made less safe in the next movie, it's less impactful than in the books, where the wedding, when things change, is the first point where it becomes unsafe. But whatever. It looked cool, it was emotional, it was pointless, but it drew out emotion. This movie draws out emotion. A lot to do with what's going on, and also a lot to do with the fact that these are characters that we have spent years with, and that at this point, we care for. Yeah, it's a good movie. And I look forward to the last couple. Again, this is a series I haven't watched in many years, but has meant a lot to me. So it's fun to get back into it. It does definitely remind me, man, I wish I had time to go back through the books. Someday. I will. Someday. But for now, I'm doing movies. Otherwise, we'll call it a night, I suppose. Thank you for joining me, and join me as my journey continues. Bye.